What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all had a good day today. I'm becoming a better YouTuber, by the way. That much closer to being a professional YouTuber.
Big news.
And then I have music that randomly comes on. What's up, everyone? Right as I'm talking shit, I fuck up. That's hilarious. Yeah, so I was about to go live with no microphone, sharing the wrong screen, and I caught it all right before I clicked go live. So we're getting 1% better every day. That should be the goal in everything. Not too wild what they did today, kind of expected. With ES. Wait, what was I looking at? I'm losing my mind. No worries. We were kind of expecting that we had failed here. Shorty was talking about this was a poor high, so kind of expected that to get cleaned up, right? They had failed here on going higher, and kind of figured there was a good chance that we wouldn't be able to push to new all-time highs, that they would probably start some selling, but that is not what happened. But also, if we look at the stuff I was watching for today, one of my scenarios was breaking above our single prints, retesting and going higher. We just kind of chopped sideways, really, actually, up here. We never got a nice retest to be in calls off of. I don't see any great setups. We did short this, or we took, we took shorts, and we got in long here, I think, or here, I can't remember, on futures, though. Let me go ahead and erase some stuff. For people that listened, Intel started doing what it was supposed to do today. We've been saying for, since January, I think, of this year, maybe a little bit earlier, December. Shorty had said Intel will get bought out, or like a partnership type deal, and that's exactly what happened today with NVIDIA. So we had purchased the January 27th, I want to say $27 calls, when Intel was trading around like $20, I think. So those are looking nice. And we've also been saying every time Intel's in that $19 to $20 range to buy shares, I've been calling it out just over and over and over and over again. Every time price is down in that range, I call out, this is a good spot to buy. Hopefully people listened. It printed today. Pretty wild, too. I was at a friend's house yesterday, helping her with some stuff. And one of the things that we did was she was asking me for help with her stocks. She has like a really small Roth IRA, and anyway, she asked me to look at it, so I closed a bunch of her positions she had that were not performing well. And since it was a small account, I was like, I mean, diversification's great, but I was like, I would just, keep. I mean, to be fair, it's still diversified because we didn't close all of her positions, so she still has a bunch of positions that are open on other stocks. But I was like, we should just take all the money from what we closed and just roll it over into Intel. And she was like, yeah, I'm game. And I told her my reasoning why. And freaking awesome, we did it yesterday. And so this morning I texted her, I was like, hey, look at Intel. And she just wrote back like, whoa. So she's happy. For the record, I will not be selling Intel anytime soon. I mean, today was not like a terrible spot to take off some risk, maybe. Um, sell some or sell some shares just to take back your initial investment or whatever. But for me, probably will not see another sale like we did on Intel, and I will be holding on to mine. We have like a $75 price target on Intel. And I think there I would off a little bit of risk, but I would also still just hold and hope that we get to see some, what's it called? Stock splits and stuff like that, you know? All right, there's all of that. Let's look at our daily. Kind of an ugly candle. Volume is good. Um, Substantially more than the last like week and a half. Actually, even further back than that, like back to August 20th. It's, or I should say, the second largest volume we've had, except for FOMC. But it's a big old doji. Um, this is not a very pretty daily candle, right? Especially like up at all-time highs. Let's look at the Fear and Greed Index. We should be right in greed, right, bro, right in here, yeah. Um, let's look at our news for tomorrow. I don't think there's very much. Or there's just nothing. Canada an hour before open, core retail sales month over month, retail sales month over month, and that's it. FOMC member daily speaking at what, 2:30 a.m. or 2:30 p.m. Sorry, Eastern time. Let's grab our big boy levels. Nice, Corey. Sorry, Joseph, I don't really understand the question. What process would you read more shares on Intel? If you can clarify that, I'd be happy to answer you. But as of right now, I don't know what you're asking. So, for those of you following along, I was supposed to have court this Wednesday, and it's going to be postponed again. Wow. So this is a little bit of a bummer because we've already missed it. Geez, how much of this do I want to grab? It doesn't really matter. It's already played out. But so this is our high volume node here, right, at 66.89, which is right there. And this was basically right at the end of the day. High volume node was formed here, came back, tapped it. Or wait, am I looking at the right? Sorry, let me just make sure. It is 89, right? Yeah. So, formed over here, like on these two candles, 6:30, 7 a.m. candle, sent it up, came back to that same area and bounced. We had, multiple 30-minute candles that closed above to confirm that these were buyers. But anyway, unfortunately, this is already played. That was a good 11-point move with barely any drawdown. I'm just showing it basically just to show how well this works, but I'm going to take this one off as I don't really expect them to bounce there again. I mean, they could, but we also have massive amount of orders here. And then it looks like our sellers are right through here. So 95 to 91. I'm probably going to be throwing an order on this. And then 706 to 710. I'm actually probably going to hold off on this. The only way I would consider doing this is if I can get an entry at the previous day value area low. Yeah, I would take this. I'm going to throw some MES there. Just 5 contracts. 66. I'm going to do 66.91 and like a quarter or 50 cents. I don't know what just happened. Oh. There we go. 56.91.50. Take profit was 67.06. I'll go to 66. 67.05.50. If I could English. Stop loss 66.84.75. Risking 27 ticks to make 56 ticks. I want to get the exact levels right here really quick. So this is 61.50. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to close this chart, and then we'll transfer those levels over to SPY. All right. So bottom of the 1300 candle. Oh, we don't get that. Alrighty. So we have our D-shaped profile. I would recommend charting ES. And actually, let me post screenshots of this really quick. I guess the short is more likely, right? Maybe I should reverse my orders to short. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'll probably just do it when I'm done, though. But I'll show you guys what I want. Why is that the wrong order type? Man. It's going to be the same thing where... Actually, I take it back. I'm not going to do this. The reason being, I'll explain when I go over SPY. I think we're going higher, and I don't trust that short. Sorry, give me just a second. I'm going to post these really quick. Oh, and then I also forgot to mention people that listened and that are in what's it called? Snap and Oxy. You should be happy. Oxy, we're expecting it to go up and then pull back and then rocket. Kind of the same thing with Snap as well. But we're okay with being green to red to really green versus not getting in on the first tap and then missing the trade. Shorty's saying like 2,000% on Oxy is what he's looking for on his, on Snap, sorry. I don't have his exact levels, but we got in somewhere here. I don't know exactly where. And he's basically looking for something like this to happen, where what was he showing? This. Anyway, 18. It's not letting me select exactly 18, but that's cool. Basically, he's saying that it looks like we should be doing up to about $10, reversing back to here, coming to 13, pull back, and then eventually here. And then our contracts are out for 2027. So we have a lot of time. Hey, what's up, Michael? How you doing? Fucking Jack, man. I'm glad you said something today because I wanted to, but I was like, I don't want to beat this guy up. He's got that little newbie symbol next to his name. some dude in Keenan's took like a $2,100 contract and was like, I held it for 30 seconds and I closed. And like he posted a screenshot, $2,100 contract, $40 profit. I'm like, yeah, that's going to work out really well. And then Jack like asked him a fairly serious question, like, oh, like what was your plan? What was your risk tolerance kind of thing? He didn't use those exact words, but that was the gist of the conversation. And then I replied to Jack like, oh, see green, take green. And that's pretty much what his reply was. Nice, Michael. Yeah, that stuff is gold. Yeah. And it's like the one time, so Jack's normally the shit talker, right? And I'm normally like the more serious one and try to answer and be helpful. And in this case, Jack was the more serious one asking about risk management. And I'm like being a sarcastic little shit. So anyway, I would definitely chart these levels for tonight. This is 66.91 to 66.95. And then 67.06 to 67.10, right? The reason I say chart them for tonight is if we do something like this, you know, like this, a couple of things. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them come down to here, right? Great spot for calls if they give it to us. But you want to see how many times these areas get hit in the overnight session, right? To determine if they're strong or weak. So if our buy zone's been hit a couple of times, or even possibly just once, expect on the next tap for maybe them to go down to those single prints. Basically, what I'm seeing for tomorrow is we have single prints at the bottom. We have a poor high at the top. I would really kind of expect them to eventually come down to here, give us a nice bounce, or even just the top of the single prints. But ideally, we would want the midpoint. Once they do this, I would be targeting, again, new all-time highs. I would close my trade, probably actually up here, 664, maybe 664.40-ish, but I don't see any reason to push it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them break above this, clean up the poor high before they go lower or whatever. So with that said, if this hasn't been hit in the overnight session, you would initially want to get calls here, you know, play it up to here, so on and so forth, right? Let me try to be as detailed as possible with this. Should be very clear, right? Or at least I hope so. Um, I think my headset just turned off. Sorry, let me just check.
The sky was red.
Okay. So, again, not tapped. We're looking for this. If it's tapped, then we are looking for this. Oh, I should ask. So for people in the mentorship group that did like the Trader Dale first chapter video course with me, what do you guys think? I'd love to have some feedback on that. If there's anybody here that did go through that with me, I feel like it was really informative. It's actually like from rewatching the videos, it's made me want to reach out to Quantower and ask for some features. Oh, wait, did I just get canceled tonight? Sweet. I just got good news. I don't have to go to work tonight. Boop, 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 boop. And I guess that's especially exciting because, what is it? Why can't I think of the name right now? Ah, there we go. This came out this morning. Me and my son, I bought him a copy. I bought myself a copy. It is a multiplayer game. And I'm not, or I used to be a big gamer when I was younger. Like I was actually a professional gamer at one point. First person shooters. I haven't done it for a long time. And I don't play first person shooters anymore. Basically, like we used to train, I don't know, I would say a good like 3 to 5 days a week we would train. And then on the weekends, we would have like the ranked matches. And the team that I was with, it was always like best of 3 games. And for 2 years solid, we went completely undefeated, meaning that we never lost a single match. Right around the 2-year mark, we lost 1 match, but we still won 2 out of the 3. And we went pretty much 4 years completely undefeated in the entire world. And or when I say pretty much undefeated, I mean like we lost the odd match here and there, but we never lost the best 2 out of 3. Like we would lose one match at the most, and that was very rare. And then basically, like, we took our first loss somewhere around the 4-year mark where we won one match, lost 2, and we pretty much just stopped. We were like, okay, we're done. Like we reached the top of the top and we're done. Like now there's a team that's better than us and we're just going to stop. It actually wasn't even really discussed. We just kind of like, everybody was just kind of done, like burnt out, tired, and quit. No, Michael, study. Do your studying. Watch the charts, though. I would say while you're learning, like at least sit down, and watch the charts for an hour or two. See how things move. Look for patterns, so on and so forth. Figure out where you would want to enter trades, and then see how price reacts when it gets to those levels. But yeah, definitely get your studying in first. And then when you're ready, dive in head first. But anyway, obviously my son likes video games, so I bought both of us the game so we can play together. Like if you see me on Discord, like where it says playing whatever, I'm probably playing with my son, because I don't do a whole lot of gaming anymore myself, in the sense that I have way better things to do, like study, or do like educational stuff for you guys or whatever. Trader Dale is insane. Oh, awesome, Corey. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Robert? How you doing, bro? Without saying too much, I hope everything is going well with the dive chamber stuff. I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so anyway, it released this morning at 9 o'clock this morning. So, and then my son was busy, right? He's got like, he has his regular schoolwork, and then he had a class like with one of his tutors. And then he had every Thursday, his class, like his school meets. It's not mandatory, but we like for him to attend for that. It's like a 1-hour thing once a week where they'll discuss something. It's pretty boring for him, but we still want him to just attend it, just to be, familiar with the other homeschooled kids that are in his class and his grade. And then he had his music lesson, whatever, blah, 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 blah. He's just barely getting home now. And so maybe we can what's it called? Actually get a minute to play together tonight. Are we going to keep watching Trader Dale's videos? Yes, absolutely. We're going to finish the whole course, meaning, let me see where it is. So this is Trader Dale's order flow pack. So we started on part 3. I'm not doing part 2 and part 1, and I explained why. Part 1 is specifically for NinjaTrader. I don't use NinjaTrader. Part 2 is specifically for his indicators on NinjaTrader. And when I started the video, I basically explained, like, if you want to use NinjaTrader, that's fine. But you're going to have to buy the indicators from him. And when you buy the indicators from him, you'll get access to this course, and you can watch those ones on your own. But so we watched the entire chapter of chapter 3. It was about a 2.5-hour class, I think. Sometime this coming week, we'll do chapter 4. And then the week after, we'll do chapter 5. Week after that, we'll do chapter 6. And I'll look into if we're going to do 7 and 8. I mean, I have his volume profile course as well. So we could just, after the order flow course, we could go, week by week and go through the volume profile course as well. I'm sure it would be extremely informative for a lot of people. But yeah, we're going to do that. Yes. Yeah, I buy jewelry for my wife. This is going to sound bougie as fuck, but I'm trying to, what's the best way to explain this? Or like, what's the best way to say what's on my mind, basically. Or I'm not even going to make it like I was going to say like Chinese people, but I'll just say my wife, is very much like, and the way that she's explained this to me, it makes a lot of sense. I think China is so competitive that, to stand out, you have to look successful, right? So like, there's so many people that, whatever, have the same education, the same grades, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And the way that you stand out from those people that are, just as qualified as you or whatever else is by looking the part, right? And so for her wardrobe is like insane. Like everything's like Gucci, Prada, Chloe. Like she wears brands that I don't even know what they are. And then she has probably like 30 purses that are all like, and when I say this, like, there's like the Louis purses that are, whatever, vinyl. I don't know what the material is. And then there's the Louis purses that are like leather that are significantly more expensive. All of hers are like the higher end ones, like Louis, Gucci. I don't even, again, like brands I don't even know. She's got so many purses, it's insane. But the thing is, so again, like when I met her, like she was a professional businesswoman in China, and she's not a very materialistic person now, but back then, like, you wouldn't want to show up for a business meeting, wearing an outfit and a purse, and then show up for another business meeting with the same people with the same purse. So that's one of the reasons she has so many purses. And yeah, her wardrobe is just insane. Like me, I'm like, whatever, Dickies, sweats, jeans, and a t-shirt. I think half the time I kind of look homeless, and my wife looks like $1 million. And then also, like, she's gorgeous, and I'm like, average, whatever. So there's all that too. But yeah, she was just a very, very successful businesswoman in China. And now, so like when I met her, like she was all about like, or she was always kind of worried about how people perceive her. And we talked about this stuff extensively, where she's like, she would always just be worried about like how she's being perceived by everybody, right? And me, I'm just like, I could give two shits what people think of me. Like, if you don't like me, that's cool. That's your problem. I know I'm a good person, and I know that if I'm your friend, like, I'll bend over backwards to help you. But, and I was telling her, like in California, the people you see, I mean, in general, this doesn't apply to everybody. Some people have careers where like they could be very successful and this isn't possible, but like, lawyers or whatever, you'll see them in suits, stuff like that. But the business people, or like business owners or whatever, people that are really successful, a lot of times you just see them, in like sandals, flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt. And they're, multimillionaires. They're not walking around in suits trying to, maintain this appearance or whatever. And so I was telling my wife, in China even, they want their skin to be pale. Because if you have a tan, it generally means like you're working outside in a field, like farmer or whatever. Whereas people that are pale are working inside offices, doing business, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So that's why a lot of times you see Chinese people with like the visors or whatever, or they'll cover their arms like so they don't get a tan. Yeah, that would be cool, Robert. Thank you. And so anyway, like when I met her, I was like, dude, like if you see people here in shorts and a t-shirt, flip-flops and a tan, they're probably really rich. Like if they're outside, like cruising around, whatever, early in the morning or I should say like late morning, early afternoon when most people are working, they're either really poor or they're super rich, right? And they just don't give a shit. And so her mentality's changed a lot over the years to where she doesn't care about how people perceive her now. She doesn't care about, putting on a face for other people. And she's starting to embrace that, I guess, Californian, like, I don't give a shit kind of an attitude. Not in a bad way, but just like, I'm going to be me. And if you don't like me, that's okay. I'm not going to try to impress you. And it's really nice actually to see her like relax and calm down and just be herself. But so point being, when I buy her jewelry, it's generally like Tiffany's. Because she still gets excited about the name brand, right? Even though I know I'm way overpaying for whatever gold or silver because of that name brand. But, it's that's the kind of stuff that makes her happy. So, but yeah, I mean, I would definitely check out some pearls. Let me go ahead and post this. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This would be the time. Yeah, exactly, Michael. I mean, really, she's, I don't know. I mean, it could just be me, but I think my wife is gorgeous, and I'm definitely like, what's the word? Like, like I way overshot, like the tier of woman that I should be with, I guess. But my wife met me, and saw like my character and, saw that I was a good, honest man and fell in love with me. And I guess I charmed her. I'm a smart guy. And then with all of that said, like, there's so many things that people could say, like, my wife is not a U.S. citizen, so we're actually, like, petitioning for citizenship right now. Some people might look at us and be like, oh, and she's also, like, 9 years younger than me. So people might look at us and be like, oh, they're doing this for, for citizenship. People, or I don't know that this is 100% true, but people getting married for citizenship don't have babies together. I'm sure some do, but it's probably not like a very common thing. And they probably don't do everything together. Like me and my wife, we're pretty inseparable. Like if I go to work, that's really the only time that we're apart. When the only other time we're really apart is when she goes to Costco. I've probably mentioned this before, but I do not like crowds. I don't like to be around a lot of people. I don't want to talk about this too much, but I have PTSD, and I just, I don't know. I just don't like to be, like people bumping into me, getting close to me. I don't like to be in crowded places. Like Disneyland is like my worst nightmare. I would rather chew my own foot off. And to chew my own foot off, I'd have to break my leg because I can't get my foot to my mouth. So yeah, generally, like if she goes to Costco, she won't bother me as far as going with her because she knows I hate it. But other than that, we really do everything together. Yesterday was an exception because she wanted to go to the mall, and I had to do Shorty's video, and I also had some other work I had to handle. So, but yeah, other than that, we really do everything together. And then I guess the other thing that people might say is, oh, well, she's with you because you have money. When we met, like, she made more money than I do. Um, Now, she's a stay-at-home mom, and obviously I make more money than a stay-at-home mom. But I'm definitely doing a lot better financially from when we met till now. But yeah, she definitely didn't marry me for money. I didn't have any, really. I mean, like, whatever, enough to be like lower middle class or middle class maybe, but nothing crazy. So, yeah. Let me see. Let's post a picture or share a picture. Oh, we could just do the old family photo. This, here, I'll just show you guys. This is my family. Or when I say that, I have two older boys, but they're not home. So, like, this is my family I have here at home living in the house. Obviously, she's just way too beautiful to be with me. But this is us. This is the baby in December. Yeah. But I've got an amazing one. I'm very lucky. She supports me in everything I do. And I support her in everything she does. Elite Mark, did I take what trade? Like, did it trigger right now? Oh. If you're talking about short, I did not. The reason being is we have a poor high. Sorry, I thought I kind of talked about this on SPY. I see upside as way more likely. Right here, we have a poor high, right? They might want to clean that up. And I would have to put my stop loss, like fairly high, to where I couldn't get one risk to reward. And then we have the failed auction up at the top, basically, where, or poor high, whatever you want to call it, where really I'm expecting them to come down here, bounce, maybe hit the sell side, come back down, hit our single prints, and then go and make a new higher high. Right. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. So that's what I'm looking for. I just don't, risk to reward, I don't see it on the short side. Obviously, for me to get filled long, they need to do the short. But I would rather, if they're going to go and clean this up, I don't want to get stopped out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if they don't fill me, it's okay. And then I would be justified, like, hey, like, they did exactly what I thought. They tapped this, they sold off a little bit, and then they bounced and went up and made a new higher high. And I wouldn't have got the trade anyway. And if I do get filled here, I'm pretty confident that it'll hit my profit target. And it just seems to me like the risk to the reward is better to the upside. We have strong single prints at the bottom, right? And a failed auction at the top. So I'll take my chances. If they don't fill me, it's fine. I will not worry about that. And I guess now, since I'm off tonight, I can probably trade live with you all tomorrow. I'll post links in Keenan's for tomorrow, and I'll post links in the mentorship group and all of that. And if you're by chance in Shorty's Discord, we'll just go live in Discord there. All right. Yeah. When I have like good zones, buy side, sell side, I don't even look at the imbalances. They tend to kind of line up anyway. But if I don't have, like a buy side or a sell side, then I'll look at imbalances and see if there's something there. I will say, everybody, when it comes to love, like, don't settle, right? Um, when you meet the right person, it'll really click, and you won't have like massive arguments. Like me and my wife, we never argue, like literally never argue. Um, we'll talk about things calmly, and but even that, it's like rare and far and few between. Things are just so easy and seamless. Like we don't have to, um, like it's not a struggle, right? Everything is balanced, and we support each other. We both, kind of know like when to step in and help the other one. I don't know. Everything just kind of flows pretty easy. Um, and when you find the right person, it'll just click. It'll make sense. If you're trying to like force a relationship or force things, like it won't feel right, and you'll just end up, sad at the end of the day. But so your person's out there if you haven't already found them. Wait until you find that person where it clicks. Don't try to force something. All right. As always, much love, much respect to everybody. Peace out. We will see you in the morning. Other than that, y'all have a good weekend. All right. Take care. Bye.